We got the music going. We're gonna give you all a few minutes. We just chilling right now. We just chilling. But let me get my little sippy together. I just got a soda and some water. Choo, Canada Dry is gonna do me good. I need something a little stronger. Hey everybody, if you are popping in, please say hello and where you're from. Give us your name, just so we know who's popping on with us tonight. We already got a few people out there. We already got a couple of comments that talk about I made it again. I bet that's Shauna. Yep. Hey Shauna. Hey girl. Thank you. Thank you. We're just gonna let everybody kind of come into the playroom, come on and see us. Yes, have some fun with us tonight. We got a hot topic, boy. We got a lot to unload tonight. A lot. Mm.
Hey.
We have a lot to unload tonight. Boy, unless you was under a rock this week, it was not the week for women. It just was not.
Not.
No. I'm going to give people a few more seconds here to join us. We are the ladies of Juicy Tales Erotic Chat. I am your hostess with the mostest, Ms. Juicy. And I have my beautiful, gorgeous, fantastic, melanated, wonderful sisters on here tonight. My co-host extraordinaire, Miss Danny's Window. Yay! And our newest co-host is going to be with us every week now, y'all. Representing that town, my little sis, Miss Jasmine Purple Rain. Yes. Hello. We don't have the applause machine anymore, but we're
gonna work on it.
I'm working on it. I'm working because I missed it. I do.
Right, I miss the applause. It makes me feel like really good. I like the feeling of people just, oh yes, I mean, like,
the praise of it all. The praise of it all.
Yes, I should have that.
Exactly.
Why not?
Have it.
We all should have that. Why not?
We all should. Yes.
We just have to push a button somewhere and find find the applause button. Like I said, we'll give everybody a few more minutes to get their drinky poos and come on in and join us tonight in the chat. We got our private chat is open as well, so you can join us there. And we're just gonna have a good time. We're just gonna have a really good combo tonight because, like I said, unless you was under a rock this week, a lot. I mean, too much. I mean, really. Too much went on. So we definitely need to have you join us tonight. We're going to love your input. Because we got a lot to unload. We just got a lot to unload. This one kind of sound like like they're taking over the planet or something. Sounds a little angry to be kind of chill. You know what I mean? You can join us here on Restream. We are live on Juicy Tales Erotic Chat. We are live on Juicy Boutique. We are live on YouTube, and we are live on Miss Juicy's Twitter page as well. So come on in, have some adult combo with us. And tonight's topic, oh my goodness, we got to talk about it, because everything that took place, this past week, I think it all kind of ties into everything that just kind of took place. But we are going to be talking about sex slavery tonight. Okay, sexual slavery, sex slavery tonight. And this is going to be a topic that I think, got some feedback.
Somebody was trying to call my phone.
Gotcha.
Good.
So we have, she's popular.
Hey.
So yeah, don't nobody call my phone. Okay, anyway, don't nobody call me. They all know I'm looking at the phone, like looking at them, looking at the phone. No, I ain't answering. I'm busy. So we have a great topic tonight. And all kinds of I think, and this topic came up way before the Roe v. Wade whole conundrum.
It actually did. Mm-hmm.
We had planned on talking about this before that. Hey Ethel, hey girl, welcome.
Straight coinky dink.
So it just woo. And then we got some ladies here that are familiar with the BDSM lifestyle. So I kind of wanted to tie it all in together, because I feel like it's very important that we talk about this, because one of the things that happens here in the United States that a lot of people want to, don't want to talk about, I should say, is sex trafficking. It is alive and well in the United States, folks. It happens. It happens a lot. It happens more than you actually know. It happens to young girls. It happens to young boys. It happens. It happens to teenagers. It happens to grown women. It happens to grown men. Sex trafficking happens, and it happens in this country. And we really, really, really need to pay more attention and be aware of our surroundings and what's going on and that kind of thing when it comes to this. Just going to share real brief. I don't know if you guys have ever had any kind of incidents in your lives where you could have been like abducted. And the crazy thing is, about maybe a month and a half ago, a really crazy scenario happened for me in the parking lot of Target. And this guy, he was all the way at the end of the lot. He was definitely foreign, and he walked back because he saw I had a bunch of stuff, and I had to put some oil in my car, and he wanted to help me put the oil in my car. And I'm like, no, I got this. I know what I'm doing. If I pop the hood, put the, started the process. I don't honestly need your help. But what I didn't realize is there was a second person. There was a second man. I was paying attention to him, the first guy. But, I kind of shooed him away. Thank God I did shoo him away before I really saw the second person. And then he kind of disappeared a little bit. And then he popped back up on the other side of my car. Well, right then and there, he was about to get got. Not, don't pop up on the other side of my car. And so then, I finally emphatically made sure he understood I knew what I was doing. Thank you for your help. I don't need your help. You can go on about your business. And then that's when I realized there were two of them. And so just, ladies, gentlemen as well, when you are out, and because they look for you to be distracted and not paying a lot of attention, and that's how they grab you. So just be really cognizant of your surroundings. Have you ladies ever experienced anything creepy like that? Jasmine, I'll start with you.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I've been in some situations where, unexpected people have popped up, but I've never noticed like a second or third person or a truck or a van or anything. But you know me, I keep my peace in my purse at all times. So if they don't go away when I tell them to go away, and I
There's
feel
another way.
threatened,
Yeah,
yeah.
there's another way you can go away.
Definitely. And I'm licensed to carry in the state of Indiana, so don't play with me.
Right. And Danny, I'm about to get mine here. The governor just changed the law. Your sis is going back to packing. Okay, going back to packing because in Indiana,
Yep.
I'm licensed to carry.
Well, I got to play the game here in California. Our gun laws are a little different, so got to play the game. But no, I was raised by guys, so I kind of already have. From one, I already got resting bitch face, so it is what it is. Two, oh no, we lost Juicy, but we're still here.
Mhm. Yeah.
Two, um, I tend to really watch my back a lot
Yeah.
just because of the way my brothers and my dad, who was a police officer, taught me. You pay attention. You keep your keys in your hand for in case you need
Hmm.
to, you know. And I try not to even make eye contact with them because I don't want you to even think you can talk to me.
Yeah. And I also follow the 40-second rule. I keep 45 seconds between the time I leave the building to the time my car pulls off. I never sit.
That part. And as soon as I get in my car, I'm locking that bad boy.
Hmm.
I don't play with that. That to me, and I even teach my daughter that.
Yeah.
I teach my daughter that. She's 17. She carries a taser.
So
There you
does
go.
mine. She carries a taser and pepper spray. She has the keychain with all the stuff on it. I don't play with my 17-year-old because
That's illegal
she
here, so we
oh
can't do
yeah.
that. But she wants to get a knife, so and wants to learn how to. And I'm like, yes, please, my and he's also with that. He's like he wants us to be able to protect ourselves. So I'm constantly now. I've never physically been, or felt like I was physically, in danger. But I did meet a young lady in a motel who was with her boyfriend, but she had been trafficked. And that's how she got with him. She was here in California, but she was from Milwaukee.
Oh wow.
When she was trafficked, she was in Milwaukee. She ended up out here. And she was pregnant, and he was whooping her ass.
Wow.
And I
That's
think I did something that was really not necessarily all that safe, but I did confront him. And he did exactly what I thought he was going to do, and that was bitch up. When you got somebody coming at you, if I'm not going to come at you and I'm on a cower, you think you're strong. But the moment I come at you and I dare you, but you're really not that dude.
yeah.
Because you ended up leaving and getting
they
arrested.
prey on you. Basically that's what they do. They prey and they tear you down. And that I know I was in an abusive marriage. So I mean, a lot of people, oh, you're so strong, I can't believe. Well, you're always trying to you want to please them. You
You
want
want
to
to
be
make them happy so that they're not angry, so that they won't
right.
do what they do. But at the same
Exactly.
time, he threatened her with, if she called the police, that she would go to jail too. And she truly believed that she
That
would
she
go to
would
jail.
have.
She
Yeah.
truly believed with everything in her that she would go to jail. She was so terrified for me to call the police. She was, oh my God. I found her in the bathroom, by the way.
Well, that's what they do. They try to control the person, and they keep that person, um, honestly, just under their thumb. And
Hmm.
and on top of it, she's probably been with him so long that she has what is it, Stockholm syndrome, where
Stockholm syndrome, as well as she's been,
Mhm.
because of the things that he's done, and she was there when he did do it. She
Like, she
Right.
felt
feels like she's an accessory.
that part,
Right.
that part. So, but
Yep.
yeah, that was a very, very interesting situation. We ended up calling the police, and they came and they took her statement. They got in contact with an aunt that was in Milwaukee to return her.
Well, good.
And what I knew, from what I knew, when she left, she was headed to her aunt.
Okay,
What
cool.
happened after that, I'm not exactly sure, but that was what I knew from when she left where we were.
Okay. And that's, a lot of these don't have happy endings, unfortunately. They just don't. They don't have happy endings. And trafficking, like I said, it's alive and well in the United States. United States is always pointing its finger at other countries. And I think, Danny, you said it best before, where when you're pointing one finger this way, you got three more pointing right back at you.
Sure
We
do.
we we got a lot of stuff here in the good old US of A. And don't get me wrong, I love my country. I sure do. However, some of the stuff that we do is asinine, and some of the stuff that we do here in this country, we sometimes we just perpetrating that we great.
Big
Meanwhile, back
bull.
at the ranch, we got hungry children here, just like other countries do. We've got kids going to sleep in cars, and homeless, and VA and military personnel living on the streets. They've sacrificed their lives, and um, we have human trafficking going on right here, and they don't even have to leave the country with the person. They can keep the person right here. We've
Mm-hmm.
got a lot of problems in this country. Um, in order for people to say make America great again, when was it great?
That,
Well,
that just hit
well,
the hit.
well, hold on. And I mean, for me, that the answer to that question, it was before colonization. It was good for us.
Yeah, true.
Since
Before
colonization,
America was America.
since colonization, it's been
Mm,
great for them, not us.
yeah. And
So,
it's and it's
and
starting. I think it's starting to
I
catch
need
up to them right now.
it's like when do you want to go back to when it was great? Because before, this has always been America. This has been North America.
Well, yeah, North America. Yeah,
This has
exactly.
always been North America. That's been South America. I'm sorry, that way for me it's South America. It just is what it is. So when are we talking? What era are we talking? I mean, because honestly, I would like to go back to the time where y'all didn't colonize stuff and bring all of these diseases and stuff that didn't belong here, roaches and shit. I mean, I could go for that, America.
And it was only great for half of that population. It ain't been great for the other half.
True. True. And the trafficking, just to go with what you guys said, this wonderful man named Christopher Columbus that didn't
Who never
discover
came here,
shit, who didn't discover anything.
who never
Um,
came to the United States of America, who never came. He only ended up in the West Indies. He never got to the continentals, North America or South America.
and
Like,
You can't tell them that.
stop the lies, yo, for real. Please, just stop.
I mean, there. And the funny thing is that so much stuff. I mean, granted, there is so much stuff out there that uh, we can't even touch upon. But one of the biggest myths, of course, is about Christopher Columbus sailing the ocean blue, and landing here.
Insane.
But they
And
never told us. They never said why, huh?
for gold,
He was
for
looking for spices and gold to
spices
bring
and
back to the
gold
queen.
to the queen. Yep.
Bullshit.
And to prove that the world was not flat.
Right. Bullshit. She sent them people away because they was nasty and she was fed up with their asses. She thought that they would
And
fall
she
off
thought
the
they
edge
was
of
going to
the
fall off and die.
She thought that they were going to die. She sent them to die.
Well, while they were dying, this group was spreading disease. Needless to say, we do know that. And it is contended by some that as early as the 1490s, Christopher Columbus established trade in sex slaves on Hispaniola. I know I'm probably tearing that up, but which included sex slaves as young as 9 years old.
And a good film for you all to see that will actually co-sign what Miss Juicy is saying is Latin History for Morons, John Leguizamo's comedy special on Netflix. Please, John Leguizamo's comedy special on Netflix. Watch it. He gives it all, every last bit of it, and it's also funny too.
And see, and this is within 25 years of being colonized, the population of Hispaniola natives declined, dying from enslavement, massacre, and disease.
They called it one of the great extinctions.
Yes.
Because a whole people are extinct now because of it. Actually, I think it's a few different groups of, like, I think the what is it? Oh my gosh, I can't think of it. Ugh! But he talked about it. It was a few of them and how they came over and they brought diseases and they brought certain animals and species that were not here. And that's why we have what we have now. They were some nasty people.
Well, if everybody remembers correctly, outside of him thinking he discovered America, the first people that England sent over here were people that were in jail. They were trying to get rid of them.
Indentured servants.
Mm-hmm.
Not even just the indentured servants. The people they sent over here to rule everything were people they were just trying to get rid of out of their country because they were criminals too. They were white-collar criminals. So they sent him over here to lead, but still, they were just all horrible people and they were trying to get rid of them, thinking that they would get over here with quote-unquote savages and not survive.
And they really did try to indentured servants, which they had to pay back, their whatever amount of money they needed to pay back, which usually took forever, probably their whole life to do that, if possible, even
a couple of lifetimes.
Right, exactly. And then the other sexual slavery and sexual exploitation is an attachment of let me just say what it is. It's an attachment of ownership rights over one or more people with the intent of coercing or otherwise forcing persons, such as the sexual trafficking of children. Sexual slavery may also involve single owner sexual slavery, ritual slavery, sometimes associated with certain religious practices, such as ritual servitude in Ghana, Togo, and Benin. Slavery for preliminary non-sexual purposes, but where non-consensual sexual activity is common, or forced prostitution. The Vienna Declaration of Programma of Action calls for an international effort to make people aware of sexual slavery and that sexual slavery is an abuse of human rights. So,
can I ask this question?
Mm-hmm.
What is the definition of slavery? I mean, like, for real, let's break this down real quick. For real, like, if you want to sit there and think, because I heard exactly what you said and I understood what you said, but it'll be some people that act like they didn't understand what you said or have a means of justifying what you said. So let's go to the root of that state, that phrase right there, sexual slavery. What does slavery mean? We know what sexual slavery means. So now what does slavery mean?
Well, slavery would be the state of being a slave. Thousands had been sold into slavery. These are what I'm getting from the dictionary here. So it's synonymous with bondage, enslavement, servitude, sub. Wait a minute, subju subjugation. Thank you. Couldn't get out my mouth. Sorry about that. Serfdom, vassalage, enthrallment, yoke, captivity, bonds, chains, fetters, shackles, peculiar institution. So the practice or system of owning slaves. That's one other. A condition compared to that of a slave in respect of exhausting labor or restricted freedom. Excessive dependence on or devotion to something or someone.
Mm.
So let me get my favorite piece. And this is going to be from the practice of owning slaves, the condition in which one person is owned as property by another and is under the owner's control, especially in involuntary servitude.
Aha. That right there was exactly what I was looking for. Involuntary.
So, right. Involuntary. This is not a willful, this is not a willingness. This is not, yeah, I want to do this. Yeah, I can't wait. This is none of that. None of that.
This is not consensual.
Exactly.
Not
exactly. And it's really important that people understand, and we are going to have a whole show dedicated to consent in a few weeks, so that people can understand what consent actually means and what we mean by being consensual, having it consensual. But basically, this was all, to me, demonizing. And then they would try to make excuses, try to say that we're heathenistic, we're savages. They thought of us as less than. We were not considered a person or a people. We were considered property.
Chattel.
Something that they owned and could do to it whatever they saw fit to do to it, because we weren't a person.
So we were an it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now let's put that in context to today's, where we have the non-binary community that we are to call they and them. We weren't even called that. We were called it.
We were more like a it or property. To be traded, to be beat, to be raped, to have your family tore apart, to have absolutely no say in what happens to you or your family.
How, when, where. Nothing.
Mm-mm. And I think it's good that we bring this up so that people will understand, especially if you are looking to get into the BDSM lifestyle. Y'all, don't even try to compare. Don't even try to compare the two. Don't.
It's not the same, and we're not going to even act like it.
Mm-mm.
But Juicy, that's why I am so thrilled. I know she's coming back.
Yeah.
I'm so thrilled we have your knowledge so that we can actually have the real conversation of the differences of and how it's not the same.
It's not even close. And I think a lot of people, when they try to understand what a slave is and a sub, mostly a slave. We're going to stick with that word slave because it's, to me, it's so important. They try to equivocate the BDSM world to quote unquote slavery, how people of color were treated, or white folks that were indentured servants, that they didn't think any more about them than the bottom of their shoe. It is not the same. It's not even close.
It's not close, but the biggest thing here is something that you've already said. The biggest difference is there is consent.
That part right there.
Mhm.
There's voluntary, involuntary. There is consensual. There is non-consensual. It's not rocket science, y'all.
Mhm.
It's yes you can, no you cannot. If you want to go into baby terms.
And sometimes you gotta do that.
I'm learning that. I'm learning that in life. Sometimes you gotta baby step people. Apparently, our
Because
Supreme Court needs that.
well, and why is because we have all of these preconceived notions about things without any kind of actual information, without any, even the Supreme Court judges. Still, I think all of us have been rocked by what took place a couple of days ago. And
I'm not gonna say that I'm surprised. I will say that I am more along the lines of y'all some dummies. Every last one of y'all is some dummies. I'm not surprised. I'm just like y'all dummies.
We're
it
just
just,
going backwards. We're going backwards.
I mean, and we're
This
the
whole
laughing stock, y'all. We're the laughing stock right now of the
we
world.
we've
Oh my
been the laughing stock though. When has
Thank
America not?
you.
When
That's
has
the
the
part I was
United
saying.
States of America not been the laughing stock or the whipping boy of somebody else? When
I
have we
think
not
that's
done
the part
somebody
that
else's dirt or done some crazy stuff that doesn't make any sense and then say, oh, we're not that type of people? It happens all the time here. It's been happening for the last 600 years, 400 years, 600 years, however long. We only been
if
a
we're
country for 240.
if we're honest if we're honest about it, we poke our chest out like we are just, it. We are this power, and you will bow down to us, and you will do it how we feel like it needs to look for us so that we feel good about you. Because you want us to feel good about you. That was Donald Trump. Like, yo, think about that shit. Think about every war that we've ever been in, which absolutely had nothing to do with us. But we're allies. But it still honestly had nothing to do with us. And we spend more than the rest of the world combined in our military. But we about this big in comparison to everybody too. But they show us maps of us looking like we're this. Ooh, we're big. Nah, homie, we not
At all.
at all by
And I think,
any scale.
and I think the saddest part of all of this is that what happened this week, just, I mean, the whole world saw it. The whole world saw this take place. They saw us reverse something that's been on the books for 50 years. They saw us backtrack for women's rights. And yet and still, we will talk about and we will be appalled by what's going on to the women in India when they're married and this is your husband, and your husband can set your ass on fire because he decided 10 years into your marriage he didn't like the dowry he got. He can set
And,
you
and
on fire for that. And then here we are. Might as well just say you just set us on fire, Supreme Court justices. You just lit every woman up in this country, and the women after us, and the little girls after us, for a long time to come until we can get this fixed or corrected.
Which is going to be hard because those are lifetime appointments.
Right.
And I think I heard someone say something about how we are thinking that the Constitution is protecting us.
It doesn't.
That when the Constitution was written, we were not considered human. We were considered 3/5 of a human.
But not even just us as women of color. Women in general weren't considered human.
It's
so I don't.
I want to just throw this in here. Women that were not of color, even white women, though, also, it wasn't so much about not human as it is we weren't intelligent. We're too weak.
Yeah.
We can't do anything without a man. We can't. You know,
that right. But that was for that was what the white women had.
Right.
That's what they had. And what I see is they drank the Kool-Aid, and they're still to this day. Well, and I'm not going to make a blanket statement. I'm not going to do that because that is not fair.
Hey, Dolce.
There are women. There are Caucasian women, or white women that have lived in the world of white women where men don't want them to do certain things. But
I'm gonna put a number out there, because if you go by the number that voted a certain way in the last election, 55%.
Oh, well, they make up 60% of the abortions that happen.
Exactly. So how did y'all vote that way? If 55% of y'all voted for this man, voted for those senators, voted for those congressmen, yet 60% of your whole entire population, or 60% of the female population that does abortions are you, how does that happen?
Well, there's a book out right now. There's a book out that has been out since 1987.
Birth Dearth. I've read it. It's a very good book.
And do you know how much that book costs right now?
It's a lot of money. Yes.
At least you're going to pay at least $500 for that book. At least. Yes. And that book told a lot. Jane Elliott, my sister, my ally. Yes. Man, I love her. She put it out there, and she told the reason why this has been happening. Because think about it. When Roe versus Wade was passed, they started fighting immediately after to overturn it. This has never not been tried to be overturned. This has been for the last 49 years since it happened.
I know.
It was overturn this.
There was Go ahead.
The thing is that in the overturnment, when in 1987, when he said, what is harming us is the fact that we are not producing enough white babies. We are not producing enough white babies. First of all, the mortality rate for how do you say it? The rate that we die, Black women or women of color giving birth is 3 to 4 times them. So if we don't really care about them. We just want to make sure that we're good. Birth.
Well, so 2 points to that. 2 points to that. What you just said about the rate that we die giving birth. The governor of Louisiana said, when this was first released and nobody knew if it was really true or not yet, said if we take out the percentage of Black women dying at birth and only look at the percentage of non-Black women dying at birth, the numbers are lower than what they really look like. So he was like, disregard them.
We don't really even
The rate,
care.
the infant mortality rate and the rate that women die at birth isn't really existent because Black women, we're going to remove them from the numbers because they're the high numbers.
And we have
Then
the power.
to the second, right. And then the other point with the birth dearth thing, it's funny because there is a clip floating around. I love TikTok. There's a clip floating around right now, and I guess there was some press conference or something with Donald Trump, and they were speaking, and the lady that spoke accidentally said, "Thank you for putting the Supreme Court justices basically in place that you did because you have saved white life."
Yes,
white life.
That shit.
What
and
she
then
said.
They came back and said that was not what she was saying. She said that what she was saying was the right for life, but that is not what she said. She said white life.
White life.
And it might be, hey, that's called a Freudian slip.
That's exactly what they said.
And what
they said that was the biggest Freudian slip.
What she really wanted to say came out her mouth.
Yep.
Although she was trying to say
she wasn't politically correct in what she said.
Right. Politically correct.
But I don't think
something else that I saw. There was this Black nurse, a male nurse that I follow on TikTok when this right before everything really was official. He worked at an abortion clinic and he came into work early one day. He went out to the club the night before so that he wasn't late to work. He slept in the parking lot at his job. He went in early, an hour early, and ended up losing his job because the women that were in there that morning were rich white women who were secretly there having abortions. Cars and stuff lined up in the parking lot at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And he lost his job because he came into work early to just catch up on some sleep because he went out the night before, not knowing what was going on that during hours when he wasn't supposed to be there.
And then the other a good one that we had just happened in Alabama, because for those of you that don't know, Alabama, you cannot have an abortion in Alabama for any reason at all.
Louisiana or Texas either.
Yep. So if you get raped, you having a baby. If you got that incest shit going on with your family, you having a baby.
If the baby dies inside of you,
you having a baby. You're carrying it to term to have a dead baby. Okay,
if you have an ectopic pregnancy, you're gonna die.
That was a part I think
leave your other kids. So F your other kids that's living that you got to take care of because this baby deserves to be born.
I think that part was what hit me the most because I've had my tubes tied since Michaela was 8 weeks old. She'll be 18 September 14th. And that was the one thing with my husband and I that we thought about. Regardless of our dynamic, we thought about the idea of, okay, so, and he was like, I'll get a vasectomy. He volunteered. That was not me. I did not ask. He volunteered. But he has not done it yet, but even it doesn't matter anymore. But the idea that if something was to ever happen and I did have an ectopic pregnancy, what the ramifications of that would be. Because if you don't do anything about it, what's going to happen? You're going to die.
Yeah. Now,
there are those that some that do, come out of the tube and they ascend into the uterus. That is a very
rare, 2%
rare.
That part.
Very rare.
So the idea of if I did decide, when we decided that I was going to do this, because I actually made the decision, he agreed with me. Thank you. It was my body, my choice. That was one thing that we talked about. So what would happen if, that he said, no doubt I'm saving you.
Well, as a woman who's had one because of an ectopic pregnancy, I had to think about my child. My daughter at the time was 2. If I had had my second child, I would not have been here to raise her.
And that right there is
So that's the part that
thing.
confuses me about quote unquote pro-lifers. I call them pro-birthers, because you're saying you're pro-life and about the quality of life that's to be created. But what about the life that's already created? Who would have taken care of my child if I was not here? You're forgetting about the lives that exist already.
But they're not interested. They're not interested.
I know.
In that.
I know they're not, but that's why I refuse to call them pro-lifers. I refuse to call them pro-lifers because there's no way you're pro-life if that's how you feel.
They're not even interested. They're not even interested. They are not even interested in the child after the child gets here. To me, they are nothing but puppets. They are fucking puppets. They walk around. Oh, say your baby, you're gonna have a beautiful baby. Blah 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 blah. You're gonna have a great baby. Blah blah blah. And then they gone.
And then when it's time for that,
Puff the Magic Dragon.
And then when it's time for that child that needs some type of health care, like something that I did not realize,
financial assistance. You'll take a child from a mother that's struggling financially and pay somebody to watch them in foster care instead of just giving the mother the financial assistance she needs to take care of her child.
But the part that really gets me is that what you're not thinking about is, first of all, how many people know that it costs $40,000 just to have a child?
That part.
How many people know that? $40,000. Where's the poverty? What's the poverty line? I'll wait.
It's way beneath that.
It's actually not. It's right
not
there.
In today's society. I read this today on somebody's post. The average rent in America.
It's probably gone up.
The poverty line is at about $50,000 now, and I say this because of this. The average rent in the United States of America, the average rent is $2,000 a month. To rent, you have to make 3 times the rent. That's $6,000 a month, which equals to $72,000 a year.
Who makes
the average household income? That is an average household income, 1 or 2 people, is $51,000 a year. Mm-hmm. So if a household, whether it's a single parent or 2-parent household, only makes $51,000 a year, none of us make enough money to pay rent.
Did you forget to take out taxes?
That's what I'm saying. That's before taxes.
And hold on, time out. Let's talk about my state of California.
And it's amazing because I used to think Indiana was an affordable place to live. I have a 3-bedroom. I am a single mother of 2, 10 and 17. My rent is $1,500.
Oh my God, I wish. Oh my God, I wish.
And the average income in Indiana is $15 an hour.
That's that. Okay, so did Indiana make that their minimum wage?
It's still not a state minimum wage. Companies just up when Chick-fil-A became big here and they went up to $16 an hour during the pandemic, McDonald's went to $14. So they got the median based off of what the lowest paying job pays.
Okay, so here what McDonald's did is they went to 16 and 18, depending on where.
McDonald's here is at 14.
And if we're honest about it, so here in the state of California, by July of next year. No, I'm sorry. Actually, no. This year, by July of this year, our state minimum wage will be $15 an hour.
Yeah, no, they still ain't changed the state minimum wage here, and they ain't even thinking about it because they still won't change the server minimum wage here. Server minimum wage is still $2.13.
Yeah, and here's the thing, folks. We're talking about we want to keep children alive. We want to make sure that our babies are taken care of. We want to understand how things work. And some of these women simply cannot afford to have the child that they are impregnated with. And let me just say this real quick, because I still think everybody keep missing one major thing, and this is probably going to be the health education part of me, that, you know, the sex ed coach, the sexuality coach, and the sex ed teacher is a woman can carry 50 million eggs. I don't care how many eggs she's got. She can carry as many as she wants, and until those motherfuckers is fertilized by a sperm, she can't get pregnant. So why don't y'all zip your fucking pants up?
Can we see this here? I'm sorry. What's the other young melanated sister? You know what? I had a conversation yesterday, and it was very refreshing. And I have to tell you about this. I had a conversation with a 31-year-old male, black male. I'm sorry, I can't call him a man. I'm gonna have to call him a man, because I'm going to give respect to his mother, because apparently she taught him to be responsible for his own sperm.
Praise God.
Thank you, Jesus.
Now, I tell men all the time, especially since this argument, I've had several men argue with me about this and say it's a mismanagement of female mismanaging her vagina. I said, well, a vasectomy is reversible, so get it if you don't want no kids.
Yo, like, if we sat here, if we made laws that said that men had to get a vasectomy by the age of 16 and can have it reversed when he has shown that he is responsible and will hold himself accountable for his children and make sure that he does everything for them, then I don't think this conversation would be happening. If we said that men are not allowed to have Viagra, because if you're trying to say that a woman having a baby is God's will, I think your limp dick calls for that being God's will.
And here's mine. Here's my solution. Hello, gentlemen. Welcome to child support. Okay.
As soon as,
but wait. No, they tried that already.
No. I got one for child support. Since the baby is a baby at fertilization, child support starts. As soon as a doctor tells me I'm pregnant, you are on child support.
You are on.
Okay, but hold on, time out. This is the part where I hear that and I can totally understand that. But this is where I have a difference of opinion on this, because I have a child, and I do have what most people will call, I will call him a sperm donor, because I've already spoken my situation. We ain't gotta do that again. And I have only ever gotten $50 from him. That child is now 25 years old. Child support can be ordered, whether it's paid or not is a whole entire different story.
But honestly, Danny, honestly, as much as Big Brother's watching, they know exactly who got money, where their money coming from, if they have money, if they don't have money. And they can change a lot of things to make that money automatically, because that's what I did with the military, automatically come out of their paycheck into your bank account on the first of the month. You, however, as a female, have to fight for it. I understand that. Believe me, my file folder for child support was about this thick for one child. And his name is on the birth certificate. So
I tried it. I understand. I tried it. The state of Texas made me do it because I had my third child in Texas and I was living there. And when you need assistance, they, but I didn't want to. But the state of Texas makes you, and he still never. Again, that
Indiana does too. Indiana does too.
But right now, that child is going to be 26 in November. So when it comes to making someone pay child support, that's hit or miss to me.
I understand that part of it,
but the legislation
it is there, and sometimes we And honestly, if we could work things out without having to go through the courts, that would be absolutely
Absolutely.
wonderful, great.
Yes.
Yeah. But what I'm saying in this scenario, the way things are now, as of the other day, we gonna have a big problem up in here, whether or not they realize it or not. You gonna have all these babies having babies. Welfare is gonna go up, whether they want to admit that or not. It's
They
going up.
want it to. They want it to.
That
You know,
part.
all that's gonna go up.
Because, and let's be
You gonna
real,
have
let's be real about that part. The welfare part, welfare part. From what I'm told, I believe it's like 85% white people.
It is.
it doesn't matter. I don't care about the percentage, because what's going to happen is it's just going to grow. You're going to continue to have the problem of babies having babies. Now it's going to go even higher, because some of those people, whether they black, white, pink, or purple, were able to go get that taken care of. Now they're not. You got whole states that are saying, you gonna have that baby.
And I am so pleased to know that I am in a state where my governor has just said, we ain't going there. We good.
The problem here in Indiana is it's not so much that, because the prosecutor said he's not prosecuting here, but it is illegal here.
So therefore, they can pick and choose if they want to.
Yep.
Well, here's the whole thing. I'm going to tell you what they're going to do, what the doctors are going to do. They're going to make it under DNCs. They're going to make it.
That's the problem, though. If you look at the Texas law, the Louisiana law, the Alabama law, and I believe the Indiana law, and a couple other states, DNCs are not allowed, because if you do a DNC, it is medically written as an abortion, whether it's a miscarriage or not. So they are going to still consider that manslaughter in those states.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Because
they cannot, even if they investigate it and see that it was spontaneous, they cannot determine that you didn't do something to yourself herbally, medically, or anything to cause that abortion. So they're going to still lock you up.
Yep.
Well, here's the thing.
And
honestly, there are so many people, men and women alike, that are against what the Supreme Court just did. And I will say, Biden did say we can put new laws on the books.
You know what? I don't believe a word that come from that man's mouth, because the bottom line is that when the Supreme Court presented him that, there was something that he could have done and he didn't. And there's a lot of other things besides that he has said he was going to do.
Okay,
and
that's not. First of all, Danny, that's all presidents. That ain't just Biden.
I'm not trust anybody that holds that title.
It's all presidents.
I don't
the main thing about what people do not understand in this country, first of all, is how government works. Our president, just like a lot of presidents all around the world, is just a figurehead. He's just a figurehead.
I get that.
It's your Senate and it's your Congress. It's your local government. That's where all this kind of starts, is with your local government. And we all want to be sleep. We want to go to the barbecue instead of going to the polls. So these people have sat in office repeatedly for like thousands of years. You've got senators and you've got,
thousands of years. It feels like that, don't it? It feels like that, though.
I'm just saying, they sitting there, and your president only gets 2 terms. He gets 8 years, and all of y'all have been in there like 90 years. I mean, you
including him when he was a senator. Including him when he was a senator.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying. The problem.
Career politician, right?
Is career exactly. That's the problem. We aren't getting any new. We finally. Let me take that back, because y'all are younger than me. So I'm in the 60s. When I was in the 60s. Sure, we could count on one hand how many black folk were sitting up in Washington.
Yeah, but I don't trust a lot of them either.
So
I'm sorry. They play the game too. I'm sitting here in a county where somebody, even though I love Andre as a person,
Mm-hmm.
and I love his diversity. He is a Black man who is also a Muslim. It's great diversity to have, and he has a really big area here in Indiana. He carries it, but he got it because of who his grandmother was.
And she was
Y'all,
fabulous.
but y'all in clan land. How does that work?
Because it's the inner city. And she had this area, she had this region for so long, he gets it off his name. Indianapolis, even with,
look her up. Julia.
Even when Obama was elected, the year that the first term Obama was elected, when Indiana went blue for the first time ever, it was literally carried by Marion County, which is Indianapolis, and Lake County, which is Gary, Indiana. 2 counties carried the state to blue. The urban area in this state carries a lot of weight. The problem is we have politicians that are career politicians that have their areas based on their name, because even if you look at our former governor / vice president, his brother has his district based off his name, not what they've done, not what they've said, based off of who they are related to.
But that continues. I mean,
it continues in all politics. I was a pre-law major at IU my freshman and sophomore year before I decided that politics wasn't for me. And I was over in the Young Democratic Council, whatever. The president of my council was the half brother of Evan Bayh. His father was still the mayor or somebody in Bloomington, running Bloomington Democratic Party. It is blood related. Politics is blood. They are getting in off their name.
Spell that last name.
Bayh, Baughh.
Okay, never mind. Okay, no. Okay. Never mind. I had
he ran for president at one point. Am I right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all based off of who they are. They couldn't. Yeah, that percentage of political families, it's just crazy. It's crazy when you look at it. No, it's hard to get new people in.
Well, and it's okay. So here's my thing, guys. Like I said, I'm a product of the 60s. Yes, I have seen change in our government. There are more people that look like me, Black women. You know, we had Shirley Chisholm was our biggest person.
And she was speaking some truth that is still relevant. Still relevant. And
so you have people that have, you know, tried to step forward and do what they can do, but you also have to understand government. And this is not about,
it's a money thing.
It's part of it's money, true. Some of it's prestige, others power. But we have to understand where it all comes from. And in order to do that, you have to, you know, step in and really go in deep with this. But really, as I was just saying, like I said, to me, honestly, it's our Senate and our Congress. And until we get rid of old fogey that, like, he started his term and they didn't even have a phone yet. They didn't even have a push button phone. They just had that rotary phone, and you call. Y'all think I'm
so petty.
I am so right.
Can we take AOC and duplicate her like 20 times, please?
What's the other one that's from my state? What is the other one that's from my state? Oh my gosh. The white chick who be having the boards and shit, and she be breaking it down and everything. Like, oh my God, I can't think of her name, but she's from my state. She's from California. She is the shit. She be sitting there like, okay, so tell me this. She be what she does is something that I think I talked about today, because it's like, you know, strategy and getting somebody to understand what you're saying, or to prove that somebody's playing stupid with what you said. It's okay, so I'm gonna make you say this. So I know you heard me when I told you the first time, but now you're trying to act like you stupid and you dumb. Okay, so I'm gonna need you to tell me
what you think I said.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Repeat that back to me. So when I ask you, Did you understand what I said? And then you say, yeah, I understood what you said. And I said, then tell me what I said.
Understand the words that are coming out of my mouth.
That part right there. Yes. Yes.
Can you understand?
Yes. Because that's what's happening. What I'm seeing in regards to the media, to the former president, to government, everyone is saying, well, you said this. Nah. I'm gonna make sure you knew what I said. You have to repeat that shit back to me so that I know you understood that shit in your mind. Because the moment you start playing dumb, I know who the fuck you are.
Mm-hmm.
And there's like I said, we're kind of off topic a little bit, and we'll get right back on. But government has made government has made it right now very difficult for women. And I am happy to see more representation of women. I'm happy to see Native American women now there up in Washington. I'm happy to see Indians. We are starting to look like
natives.
our
You don't call them natives. That's what they are. They're natives.
No, I mean from India.
No. She means from India.
Okay, I'm sorry. India. My bad. Yes.
Yeah.
Hindu and Hindi. And
stuff like that. Yeah. So that's a religion, though. But I'm just saying, we just really need more representation of everyone that is in our beautiful country. And I think we are finally, because if everybody just remembers for a second, and and I understand we had to start somewhere. There had to be some kind of organization. We all can't run around nilly-willy doing whatever the fuck you want to do. So, when the quote unquote founding fathers put this together, little did they know that it was going to last this long. They were hoping it would last, but I think what we have done is we keep trying to, kind of like with the Bible, we've already talked about this, how y'all want to interpret it the way you feel like you want to interpret it. Same thing y'all doing with the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought
that's exactly what they said, though. But the Supreme Court has said this is our interpretation.
And
this current Supreme Court has said that we believe, the 6 of them that made the decision said that we believe that the Constitution is not a living document. It is to be left as written. When other SCOTUSes have said it is a living document, it is to be adapted to the way of life of the country. So these 6 evangelical men and women feel like that it is not a living document.
They're Catholic. The majority
not all of them are Catholic.
No. I think it's only 2 or 3 that are not. The other ones are all Catholic. That is why they did what they did. That's one of the reasons. That's why their mentality is.
What about separation? The thing is, though, again, my biggest thing is it's a separation of church and state. So I don't care what your religion is.
They went against that. Yes, they went
against that. My biggest thing is in all 6 of y'all's confirmation hearings. Because I'm going to go to you too, Clarence Thomas. In all 6 of your confirmation hearings, you were asked, would you overturn Roe v. Wade, and you lied on the stand. So now I feel like you should be impeached.
And what did they say?
I will leave it. It is a standing law, and it has been decided, and I'm going to leave the decision as so.
Lies.
So now you make me feel like you need to be impeached, because had the president lied on the stand like that, you'd be ready to get rid of him.
I think that's called perjury, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And all 6 of y'all lied.
And I'm going to say this. Anna Kasparian from TYT, the Young Turks, she made a statement that I 100, 200, 1000% agree with. I don't care about religion. I don't.
I saw that. And I agree with her.
I will fight for you to be able to practice how you want to practice it. That is how you believe and how you feel. I will fight for you to be able to do that. But you do not, by any means, have the right to tell me that I need to live how you think I need to live so that you feel better about your life. I don't care about your religion. It's not mine. I don't prescribe to that. So stop trying to tell me what to do with my body when you won't. You for damn sure not gonna let me do the same thing to you. If you want to do that, you have every right to not have an abortion. Don't. If you don't want to,
they keep thinking that pro-choice is kill the baby, and that's usually not what it is. Pro-choice is just that. It's
I
choice.
have a choice.
You get to have.
I have autonomy of my body, is what it is. This is my birthright.
Because y'all can't do it, sirs.
The autonomy of my body is my birthright. To choose to live or die for my other children is my birthright. It is not your right to take from me because you didn't give me life.
That part. And if a child cannot live without my body, it is not livable. It can't. It's not.
That part.
There are babies who are born and who are in the NICU and they fight and they do what they got to do or whatever. I don't know how that works because I'm not a doctor or anything like that. But those babies make it and they are productive citizens of this world. But then there are babies or bodies that are not able to hold or do whatever or for whatever reason because you're not listening, you're not paying attention, that it just doesn't work. But you want her to be liable for that. How?
Well, my problem is once again, I'm gonna go back. Let me just go back one time. Can't get pregnant without a sperm. It comes from the man. And I can carry as many eggs as I want to and not be pregnant. Okay? So what happens? The great sex ed that we are teaching our children, which is how to get pregnant, and they've been doing that for years, I might add. That has been the whole purpose of sex education, is to teach you how to make a baby. Okay? Because they're not teaching you how to have a family. They're not teaching you how to self-pleasure. They're not teaching you how to have an orgasm. They are only teaching you about reproduction, point blank, and putting it under the umbrella to make it look pretty as health education or sex education, and it's not.
And if you want to continue,
it's reproduction education.
At
what
it.
It is.
But at the same time, I love the fact that my guy yesterday said his mother taught him the same way my mother taught me, or our mothers taught us, to be responsible for our bodies and what we produce. Why? And the fact that he was taught by his mother to be responsible for your own sperm and what happens with that. Why are we the ones that have to always be responsible? Why can't everyone be responsible?
Well, here's the thing. Once again,
because again, I'm gonna say that, like I've been saying throughout this whole episode, patriarchy at its finest.
Right. Who's running the country? Who just sat up here? You know, a bunch of men. Once again, a bunch of men. One female who's probably been bullied by the men, and she don't have no damn backbone. And so the next thing you know,
she couldn't even speak during her confirmation hearing. We ain't gonna talk about that idiot.
She's just a yes girl, and we ain't got time for that kind of person. But the whole thing is that once again, you know, you got a bunch of men sitting up here talking about a woman's body, which you don't know the first thing about, half of you. And we've talked about that on this show, and I will continue to talk about that on this show, because you need to learn and understand how the female body works. So I hope you all keep tuning in. But meanwhile, back at the ranch, we got a bunch of idiots making plans for my cooch.
That don't know shit, that's probably got a beard at home. And if you don't know what that is, look that shit up. But at the same time, because you don't know, what do you say? How will they know?
They won't.
No, they don't.
They don't, and they won't. you know, we have to take all of this with a grain of salt. And a lot of this came from, actually, getting back on topic, it came from sex slavery. It was something that was practiced. It was something that is somehow rather embedded in people's
The mental
behavior.
society.
And it's what people what they know. Okay,
that's a
what
choice right there. I'm sorry, but I'm not about to sit there and look at Nick Cannon as he's bad because he has 8 kids and 1 more on the way. These women are all consensual. They are having these babies, and he is taking care of these babies. These babies are not on welfare. They're not relying on the government. I'm sorry, say it again.
I was saying it's a poly situation. Those ladies give full consent. They knew what they were doing.
Exactly. That's full consent. That is not what we're talking about right now. So no, I'm sorry. I can't co-sign with the whole Nick Cannon thing.
No, and he, I mean, first of all, he's been very straightforward with what he's
unlike Future, who got 17 kids, but again, those were consensual sexual situations because they knew he had kids. Not to say that he was straightforward, not like
and they still did it.
Well, here's the thing. The thing of it is that if you go back in time of how many, as long as you could take care of your wives, you could have more than one wife.
If you could financially keep them all balanced separately, not in the same household, if you could take care of them all individually, you could have them.
That part. Exactly. They're not
so
on government system. They're not great on the system. All of them kids taken care of.
We're going to take a little short pause because you know what? We've been talking and ain't done it at all tonight.
No.
It's a good topic, though. That's why it's a good topic.
I know, right?
It's hot. It's hot. The block is hot.
Take a break.
But we're gonna take a short break, y'all. We're gonna look. We gotta pay some bills here.
I got
one bill at all tonight. So we hope you stick and stay with us. We still got a little more Juicy Tales erotic chat coming live to you tonight. So don't go nowhere. We're just gonna pay a couple of bills. Be right back.
This is Miss Juicy of Juicy Boutique, your one-stop shop for erotic excellence. We have BDSM products, we have games, we have lingerie, we have it all, whatever it takes to make your juicy journey exciting and romantic. Make sure you check out our full selection of products. Let us set up for that home shopping party, bachelorette, birthday, anniversary, divorce. It doesn't matter. Wherever erotic fun is, you can find Juicy Boutique. We are RA Media, radically authentic media consulting. Give your story a voice with RA Media. Email us at nick@ramediallc.com. Kingdom Inspirations is your digital media shop. Our mission is to provide elegant and high-quality editable templates that suit your business, personal, and educational needs. Check us out on etsy.com/shop/Kingdom Inspirations. Email us at kingdominspirations@gmail.com.
Make sweet love, not me. Who came to kiss and love, not me. Who came to beat it up, Rocky. And don't use those hands to put up that gate and stop me. When we
All right. Gotta give it up for our wonderful sponsors. Woo! Yay! Absolutely wonderful. We thank them so much for putting up with us week in and week out. Thanks to our sponsor, Juicy Boutique. Okay. Also to RA Media LLC, to Kingdom's Inspirations, and to our newest sponsor joining us, Pleasure Lies Within. And we will be live with Pleasure Lies Within when we come back from our break for the holiday, we will be live with them on July the 11th. So I don't know what's going to go down, but
we don't know what's going to go down. We don't.
Tell a friend. That's all I have to say is tell a friend.
Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend.
Because it's going down. We've
share, like.
Right. All
that part right there. Share, like.
All the kinks worked out, and we'll be able to do this one. We've been promising you guys, so we got it together now. We got it together. So remember, new platform, still working on what I'm learning how to do. So I really do appreciate the ladies tonight. So one other thing I wanted to touch on with sex slavery is sex trafficking. I think it's very important that we do touch on that topic and that subject tonight, especially since it does happen here a lot in the United States, as well as children, teenagers, and a lot of young women and boys of color being abducted and taken to parts unknown. I do believe Jasmine has froze up. Jasmine, are you still with us?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you.
I'm moving on my end. I don't know.
I can't. You're not moving.
You're not. It's okay. Don't worry about it because it froze up on me earlier too. So I think there is something wrong with the stream, the feed tonight. So
okay,
we'll be okay. We can still hear you, but maybe move your cursor around or something like that, or. Mine came back. It took a little bit, but it did come back.
Okay.
So we have people that are being abducted, and a lot of those are people of color, and nobody's looking for them. Okay, just their families.
Indigenous.
Just their families. Ain't no big old posse getting together. Everybody got their hunting guns looking for them. Stretched out over, 5 miles. It's not happening. And that disgusts me. It does. It disgusts me because these are children. I don't care what color they are. We should all come together and make sure we find them.
Exactly.
So I do find that very distressing and very, very disturbing. I know here in Cleveland, we had a situation where 3 girls were abducted. And actually, the crazy thing is all of this does not have to go out of state. It can be in your own backyard.
Mm-hmm.
And the gentleman, I think the guards gave him, a few minutes to himself. It's just my thought process, okay? I'm not saying this actually happened. Don't nobody quote me on this. I'm just saying I think they gave him a few minutes to himself and something to hang himself with. He kept these 3 girls captive for years. Had a baby with one of them, beat the baby out of the other, basically. Made her have a miscarriage. And these were his daughter's friends, come find out. And they popped up missing slowly but surely.
That's kind of similar to that Lifetime movie that was really big a couple of years ago about the guy that said his daughter ran away, but he actually kept her captive in the basement and she had like a bunch of kids by him or something like that. It was a Lifetime movie. And when she finally got away, her mother thought she had literally run away. And the reason he made it look like she was still alive is because then he brought the oldest kid upstairs. He picked a favorite and put that it was the youngest, one of the youngest. He picked that child, put it on the porch in a carriage and put a fake note on it, making it look like it was from the daughter. And the mom was raising that child, thinking that the daughter had dropped the child off because she couldn't take care of the baby while her and her other 2 children were in the basement.
Are you?
And this was his daughter.
Kidding me?
And he did this to her on her 18th birthday.
And locked her in the basement. Had it all planned. Cemented. She only had like a bucket at first, a bucket and a mattress.
Yep.
And he raped her every day that he could. Yep. True story, folks. But I guess she can't have an abortion here in the United States if they could have caught that quick enough.
Well, she's not entitled to protect herself.
No.
Mentally, physically, emotionally, or anything, huh?
Nope.
Nope.
I don't care. You don't give a fuck.
She's just a female. She's just the bringer of life.
We're going to have a lot of 13, 14, and 15-year-old moms who are having uncle, cousin, and granddaddy's baby.
Did you see about the one where the young girl was raped? They gave custody to the rapist, and now she has to pay child support?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Put your mother, your daughter, your sister, your aunt, your grandmother in that situation and see how you feel.
They don't care.
Oh, no, they don't. But you know what? You know what's going to change? I'm going to tell you what's going to change. They're about to find the fuck out. How about that? They don't know now, but they're about to find out because they just changed that law. Y'all can't, And all those little mixed babies that y'all got rid of before, not happening. That pure bloodline that you thought you was going to have, it's over.
Well, the funny part is, because I keep seeing people say this, they think this is going to bring more white babies. They about to get a whole bunch of Asian, brown, and indigenous mixed babies up in this piece.
Honey,
because these girls that you're keeping from having abortions are your daughters that are dating POCs that you don't want to date POCs.
That part right there.
So there go your bloodline. I'm like,
what you have to
I didn't think this. I'm trying to say that didn't think this shit through. Y'all just went out here.
Y'all really did not. Hold on. Wait. You colonized. You colonized. You're not indigenous. You're not original. You were not initially the majority. What did you think was going to happen? You guys made the one drop rule. What did you think was going to happen?
But that's why I refuse to call them, I refuse to now call them white or Caucasian or American. We have to have a hyphenated name. They have a hyphenated name. They are European Americans.
That part.
Your descendancy is from somewhere overseas. And I can't pinpoint where your descendancy is from. So I'm just going to call you a European American.
That part.
The other part that I don't think they thought about, though, in all of this, well, at least not Clarence Thomas, because you're all for this. Sir, do you know they coming for you next? Loving versus Virginia is on the chopping block, sir, because they think that's how they're going to fix it.
But he thinks he's exempt, considering that Jenny's family said that for a black man, he's cool, though. Everything about him is cool except for he's a black man.
He's Gullah Geechee. I don't care. They coming for him too.
Uncle Tom. That's what he is.
Ooh,
and he about to find out that his pretty dark skin don't mean a damn thing.
Not a damn thing.
I bet he votes yes because he probably thinks he's white on the outside too.
Well, I'd like to see what's gonna happen to Miss Jenny with her.
Well, I'd like to see. Well, you know, they're up to over 300,000 votes to impeach him.
Well, he needs to be impeached.
He does because he's hid it. He hid what she did.
And then voted to keep hiding it. He was the only one that voted to not open it.
Exactly. He should be impeached. And if he's impeached, then I feel like his vote for Roe versus Wade
it's still away. It's still 5-3 though. So we need to figure out somebody else to impeach. I feel like we should impeach all 6 of them based on the fact that they lied in their confirmation hearings.
I will agree with that one.
Oh, I know I want to impeach that girl.
Oh my God.
I'd like to have her on the chopping block as quick as possible. Let me, there were 5. I have 5. The 5 justices appointed, the 5 of them were appointed by
yes, by Trump.
By Republicans.
By Republican presidents. So they
Yes,
voted to overturn the landmark abortion rights ruling, and they are Samuel Alito, Clarence Thomas, Neil Gorsuch, Brett Kavanaugh, who should not be there, and Amy Coney Barrett, who should not be there.
Yes. And see, my issue with that whole thing is that the 2 presidents that put the 5 of them in there did not get the popular vote. They won because of the Electoral College, both of them. They were second.
Well, and the only reason why they won with the Electoral vote is because they cheated. One of them cheated for sure.
They stole the vote from Obama.
So they're just
SCOTUS is a mess.
Like I said, politics is
it's a whole nother beast.
It's a whole nother beast. And I would say
all of this is just I just feel like all of this is just another reason or another way without them saying sex trafficking or sexual slavery for them to legalize how to control us and to keep doing these things to us.
Well, I don't necessarily want to say that it's controlling us as Black women.
There you go.
There you go.
You're right. Yeah.
It's not to control us. That's why I'm not really that's another reason why I'm not surprised about it. Because we already know what's good. We already know what they own. But the women didn't want to listen. They voted for Trump. And now, as that woman said, we're going to thank Trump for the victory of white life.
That is still cracking me up that she had that Freudian slip like that.
It's just what she meant to say. She just didn't realize she said it. That's just the thing right there.
No, she caught herself because before she said life, she stammered. She said white life. She stammered. She knew exactly what she said.
Oops.
Oops.
But you got to think about it. Those people been saying the shit you supposed to say in quiet out loud. Like, for real. Since Trump has been in office, they've been saying the quiet parts out loud.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? That's all well and good. They don't really need. There's nothing that they saying out loud is stuff that we didn't
already know.
We didn't already know. So it's not like for us, it's a big shock or surprise because it really isn't. I mean, we've been hearing it generation after generation after generation. So it's not for us a shock and awe moment. It might be a shock and awe moment for somebody else, but not for us. That's for damn sure. So. I mean, they were speaking their truth while they were beating us, raping us, make us pick cotton, make us have 40. We never got the 40 acres in the mule, and
they did that while they've been trying to while we built this country.
Exactly.
Yeah,
they did all of that, and they're not going to stop because this is what they know how to do: rape, pillage.
This is what they did for centuries before they came over here.
I mean, even white women couldn't vote back in the 1920s. You all couldn't vote, and then you had to wait.
I got a comment over here that said no one is talking about the health concerns that will come with illegal abortions. It's that, but it's also they're not talking about what it takes to carry a child. Period. Mm-hmm. Just to carry a child, period. All the other stuff of making you have a child and all that, it's all the things that come with the carrying of a child, the giving birth of a child, the prenatal care, which is the biggest issue because you have the people who, in essence, created the doctrine that these medical doctors are going by are men who are telling women how their bodies are supposed to go. And because there's no way on God's green earth, the ancestors' green earth, or whoever's green earth you believe it is, the reason why they are gonna be wrong is because they will never know what it is or how it is or what it feels like to give birth, carry a child, or anything like that. So if you don't know how to do that, I don't think you obviously have to.
And the other part of that, the other part of this is that women, number one, you know, you're talking about young girls that are out here. Like I said, if you didn't hear me earlier, health education has always been about how to get pregnant. That is definitely what it is. It teaches you how to get pregnant. It doesn't teach you how to do anything else. It just teaches you how to get pregnant. Now, if we're talking about young girls that are being molested, that are being raped, that are being you know, drug, or women now, what we gonna do? Get knocked in the head and drug off to the cave again, back in the cave days? What is this?
Don't know, or just don't know.
You know, it's not. It's
they
a question.
Have access to information.
It's a question of, you know, when do women get respected? And they just showed us they have no respect for us. They don't care how we feel. They don't care what we think. Just as long as we can pop out a baby to make them look good.
I have a question.
That's not happening. And we have to change. We can change these laws. You can change them on your state level, since the federal level is not in place right now. You have to know what, like I said before, if you want to beat somebody at their own game, you got to play the game the way they would play it. So if they're hoping that we will sit back
and not understand that it's a state rights issue.
And not understand that it's a state rights issue, we're going to ignore it because the Supreme Court said no. Not understanding that you need to get rid of, like, okay, Ohio, ours is basically up to 6 weeks, up until a heartbeat. Women don't even know, for some of you that are out there, some women don't even know they're pregnant until after 6 weeks or 10 weeks. This is totally unfair. And if it's a woman that has said to the guy that helped to get her pregnant, I might add, as hey, I'm pregnant, and he walks right on out the front door, never to be seen again.
Make leaving illegal.
With no consequences. None.
Okay, so I guess this is my question. My question, and I think this question is mainly for men. The idea that you are seen as you can't control yourself, you can't think for yourself, you have no self-control, is that really how you want to be seen? Like, you just dumb, you stupid, you ignorant? I mean, and my name is Danny's Window, and I reserve the right to be wrong. Are you retarded? I understand that is a slur, and it's not meant in that way, but it's meant that, are you mentally challenged? That you can't control yourself? You don't know how to make your own decisions? You are just at the whim of an extension on your body? That once that once your member is full of blood, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're not responsible for what you're doing, and therefore you're not supposed to, or required, or maybe you should hold the other ones in your species accountable for that. I mean,
and that's my biggest thing. Even to get back on topic with sex trafficking and sexual slavery, to me, that's the biggest thing. Nobody of the male species is being held accountable, and it's all the blame is being put on women. Even down to how we raise our little girls. Oh, you shouldn't wear that around certain people. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't do that. Over sexualizing our youth, especially our youth of POC.
Yes.
Black girls get so overly sexualized and they're just being who they are. Why are we making everything sexual and saying, well, that's why that man can't control it? No, he's grown. He needs to control himself.
And a black girl is going to be seen as an adult by the time she's the age of 8.
Yep.
A white girl will be seen as an adult when she's about, say, 16, 17. Then they want to sexualize her. But us, it'll be younger than them.
Because our bodies mature faster.
We develop differently. Exactly. Because we develop
okay, so and that right. Okay, so let's can we clarify that statement or rephrase that statement? Because that statement that we just made is the reason why they do what they do. Oh, because you develop faster, so you should be that. Nah.
No, I'm not saying that it's right. I'm saying that's why they do it.
I know. I guess what I'm asking is, how do we rephrase that so the statement is not, because if you make the statement, even if you write the statement, it sounds as though we're blaming the girls we're blaming us for developing faster. I guess what I'm trying to say, how do we change that so that it's not made to be like you shouldn't develop that fast so that we don't see you that way. In essence,
we can't help it though.
Exactly my point.
It's nothing that I don't think it's anything we should be trying to sweep under. You can't sweep it under the cup.
No, it's not sweeping under the. No, it's not sweeping under the rug. It's calling it what it is. Not well, because you are developing faster, then I can't control myself. So therefore, you should become my slave.
Well, no, but hold on, Danny. That's that person's thought process. But that's that person's thought process.
I understand. Okay,
and I understand what you're saying about the words. I get it, but that's that person's thought process. Other people will take it as it is put out there, which is the truth. We develop faster and different. We are more athletic. I mean, these are things that have been proven and have been seen.
It's our genetics.
It's in our right. We're not developed like they're developed. That's just the bottom line. They ain't got no ass. We got ass. Come on. There's going to be, I mean, I'm just going to make it's the truth. When you stop everything.
Well, I mean, I can't say shit.
You can't.
I mean, and just from a perspective of somebody who's a little, right. And just from the perspective of somebody who's a little younger, I remember I was with my dad and my stepmom in Vegas. They were renewing their vows. I was 16. Me and my father were walking through the casino, going to get something to eat. I'm a daddy's girl. I'm his baby. I'm his only child. Oh, no. I'm holding my father's hand. I'm 16. Somebody stopped us and told him he should be ashamed of himself for having such a young bride. I was his child. But they looked at me and how my body was developed and assumed this 40-year-old man had a young woman and told him it was something wrong with him. We weren't doing anything sexual. I was fully clothed. But because of the way my body at 16 looked like the body of a 25-year-old woman, something I can't help, this Karen decided she wanted to chastise my father because she thought I was his girlfriend.
It's that indoctrination that I think that I'm referencing. It's the indoctrination that says that because I see this is what it's what I think it is. That's what it is. Not that it could be something completely different. I think that's where, and I may not necessarily be able to be communicating it properly, and I do apologize. But the idea of us developing how we develop is a problem. It's not a problem.
No. I think D.L. Hughley says it best when he says that the people, Caucasian people are afraid of us in their mind. It's up here first. They're thinking that they're thinking the worst before, and a lot of them have never even attempted to interact with us. They just assume or listen to what somebody else has said, have a lot of misinformation about people of color, about people from China, people, this whole thing about, the COVID, we got you beating up people. who were born here in America because they're Chinese. I'm like, we just have a lot of ignorant people in this country. No matter how much you try to educate, you still got ignorance. And when you have ignorance, you can keep trying as best you can to get them to the other side. But let's just be honest. Some of them are not going to come over here to the smart side. They're going to stay on over here on the ignorant side. And that's fine. Just stay on over there. Don't cross over here because you liable to get my ignorant side. Okay.
Yeah. But the other problem is when the biggest problem is when that ignorance becomes indoctrinated into your culture, and they've indoctrinated that ignorance into our culture, that our mothers and our fathers. I think that's why I even parent my child differently, because I don't want to parent her out of fear.
Well, and you know, fear is a tactic. Fear is a tactic to keep you where you are or lower. That was used, and it's still used. Mental fear. They may not be able to do all of the stuff that they used to do it with us as slaves, but if you ever notice, there's a lot of us that are still have that slave mentality. It has been handed down from generation to generation to generation.
And that is what I'm speaking on. That is what I'm asking about in regards to the
But that's why when you were saying about sexual education being reproduction education, I make sure my child gets actual sexual education.
Oh yes, questions can be asked and will be answered, and they are very.
And they don't want that. They don't want that.
They don't. They want
to be ignorant so that they can learn shit else.
They don't want that. They want you to get pregnant so that we can talk about the fact that we've got teenage pregnancy and all of this could have been prevented with a little bit of education, the right kind of education, as well as you as a parent talk to your child. Hello.
Yeah. And not make them feel like it's not to make them feel like there is something wrong with them because they are developing into the people that they will become. I will never tell my daughter, cover yourself because you're the reason why so-and-so is coming at you like that. I'm never going to do that. I'm never going to be that woman.
I won't do it to my daughter either. It was done to me. I developed. Okay, so my issue was that I had no chest, but I always had ass. And anytime that I wore anything that was slightly fitting, I was told that I needed to put on something baggier. So what did I do? As a young girl, I learned that shit. I'm going to wear some baggy pants. I'm going to wear everything baggy. Why? Because I don't want my body to be seen. Crazy shit right now is the same thing. The crazy part about it is now my daughter is in this generation. She's after the millennials. But she's in
Z. She's the same as my daughter. She's a Z.
Okay. So she's in that generation that is like I believe that I've instilled in her to be proud of her own body. She's a lot like me. She's just taller. No chest, but she got booty, and she's actually very proud of it because she loves her body. Now she'll say something to me like this: "Ooh, mama, your booty big." It makes me so uncomfortable, and then I have to check myself.
It's a learned behavior for you.
That's why I said I had to check myself because the way she's meaning it is that, oh, mama, it's everything. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous. But because of the way I have always in taking it in is that it's meant to be an insult. Because when I was younger, when someone would talk about my butt, it was supposed to be an insult. It was supposed to bring me down.
Your butt's so big. You got a big booty.
You look like you got a diaper on. Stuff like that.
So
when I was in the 90s is when biker shorts came out. Like, no, we're not wearing no biker shorts for me. And I played softball too, and we had to wear them damn shorts. But we also wore shorts on top of those too, so that helped me.
You know, we didn't. I was that first generation of volleyball players that was wearing coochie cutters.
See,
and to this day,
before y'all wore the coochie cutters, we had the tight biker shorts on we had just a regular like a little shirt that had a little button right here, and we had them biker shorts. And of course, you know the stance of a volleyball player. I had to do that shit too.
Bend your booty out.
Your booty
And
standing
actually, my team took it further. We had on cheerleader Spanx. We had on, I swear they were cheerleader Spanx. And I would get in trouble because I was naturally thick and my butt cheeks hung out.
So, do you remember those? The in essence, the panties that went under the cheerleader skirts. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
So I was a cheerleader too and had to wear them things. It was a whole problem.
Okay, y'all.
Whole problem.
And then was told that my mama was letting me be a fast tail little girl because she was letting me do those activities.
Exactly. And that's the stuff that makes men think that, oh, well, she wearing that, then she must want this. And they feel like they can do the trafficking and shit that they do. And it's like, no, let's hold you accountable for saying, no, you don't need to do no bullshit like that just because of this. Hold yourself accountable.
That boys will be boys crap.
Yeah, fuck you. I'm sorry. That was real harsh. I'm sorry.
I felt it though. I felt that, all of that, because I feel the same way.
I'm so sorry. That was real harsh.
Well, here's the thing, ladies. We're gonna wrap this up because we've talked about everything that you could possibly talk about. But we're gonna have this topic again because I think it's a good topic to really sink our teeth into, because it's very important that we do talk about sex trafficking. And if you don't know the universal sign for help, guys, this is it. If a child does that and their hand is behind their back or their hand is down, maybe
this here with the
thumb inside, hand over.
Thumb inside, hand over.
I need help. Okay, so be on the lookout for that just in case. Remember that just in case something should happen. Don't want anything to happen to any woman, any child, no matter what race. It does not. It's not, no one. We don't want that. But we do want you all to please take the time. Please, in your states right now, be aware of what's going on. You guys, we got to stop sleeping through these primaries and sleeping through the elections and just waiting for the president election. Because we do that, they depend on us to do that. Then they sit and they do stupid stuff like they just did this past weekend. If you all are a female right now, all females, all races, all colors, all creeds, all religions, whatever the case may be, let me explain something to you. What they just did is not just about abortion. It is about you as a female. And yes, you need to take this personally. Even if you don't agree with abortion, understand and I can just say they are telling you what to do, because it could have went either way. It could have went the other direction. Unfortunately, the people that believe in pro-choice, it did not. It went pro-life, but I don't think a lot of you thought this through. This may not affect you personally, but it's going to affect your family members or friends' family members or something along those lines. It's going to affect my great nieces, and I am not happy about this. Okay? It is not. And eventually, this is going to affect the men that get the females pregnant. Mm-hmm. It is going to affect you as well. So if you out here willy-nilly dick, you get ready to start paying child support or being chased down by the courts, because these women are not going to sit by anymore and let y'all get away with all of this and not charge you because they can't get an abortion. So you're going to be paying some child support, whether you think you can't, or whatever the case may be. You better wrap it up.
Or a shotgun wedding.
Yep. Or you're gonna need to do something, because it's not looking good for you guys either. I think we spoke just briefly about Nick Cannon, which is fine to speak about him, but he has the money to take care of his children. Nick Cannon comes from money, so he has money. He's made his own money for a lot of years, so he will be able to provide for his 8 or 9 children, and all of that is consensual. Most importantly, all of that is consensual. It is not any coercion. It is not that the women don't know who he is.
Fully consensual.
They all know, and they all know who each other are. It's different. It's a totally different dynamic, and it's actually kind of an old dynamic that he's living, where it takes a village to raise a child, and these children don't get a lot of luck.
That do it. We need people to understand there are Black people out here that are doing what we do. We are community. We are our brother's keeper and our sister's keeper. We are out here, and we do live our lives, and we have generational wealth and things like that. It's not a lot of us. It needs to be more. But we are out here, and we're doing it, and we're going to continue to do it, and we're going to support each other. And as long as we understand that, and we know that us as men and women can come together, and we don't have to do the bullshit that they're telling us that we need to do, and we can love on each other, man, that's gonna be a great world.
I couldn't agree more. It'll be a lot better than what we got.
I'm just saying.
That part.
So, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. Danny, what you got coming up? We got now next week. No Juicy Tales Erotic Chat. Just letting you know, the ladies and we all gonna have a nice long weekend. It is July 4th. I'm not necessarily celebrating Independence Day, but I'm I'm just, hey, it's a holiday, y'all. And then we return on July 11th with Pleasure Lies Within. Mr. DC will be here joining us live, showing us some of this stuff. Everybody get your shopping list ready. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
Like, for real.
For real. And then the following week, we're going to hopefully get a special guest in here, but we will be talking about consent. We're going to really get into what that means and how you go about getting it, okay? Because it's important. It's important. Consent is important. So, Danny, anything that you'd like to add? Tell people how to reach you and all that good stuff.
You can reach me at Danny's Window. That is DANIZWINDOW. I do also have a page that is called Danny's Window You. You can find me pretty much on just those 2 names only. And right now I am in post-production on a sketch series and vlogumentary that I have been producing since last year. And we're coming down to the home stretch. And I'm very excited. So as soon as I have something for you all to see and watch and take, I'm like really excited. I can't wait. I will definitely, you guys will probably be one of the first to know, besides, my production people's, the production company that I'm working for, their people. But yes, I'm so excited. I'm going to say congratulations to our Miss Juicy for her now being published.
Yes, ma'am. Congratulations, love.
I am so freaking excited. You don't understand. I'm thinking like, oh, baby, she did it. My mentor. I love her. Miss Juicy. Yeah, Miss Juicy. Yeah. I love it. I'm so proud of you. I had to say that just so you know. I'm a very, 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 very proud person. So proud. Wow. You go, girl. Y'all better go read it. Voyager. Is it Voyage, Ohio?
Voyage Ohio magazine.
Voyage Ohio
June 23rd article is about Ms. Juicy and how I got into the toy business. And I'm gonna let Jasmine tell what all she's got coming up, and then I'll come back to what is on the horizons for Ms. Juicy. So, Jasmine, what you got going on?
So you can follow me on Facebook at Jasmine Purple Rain, YouTube at Purple Rain's Play Palace, and Instagram at Purple Rain 83. I got some events coming up. The biggest one is going to be my birthday bash, but that's in October, so be out on the lookout for that. Just me doing this stream with you ladies. I'm gonna be here. I'm enjoying being here. And then some things on my YouTube channel dealing with being single, a single poly, being single in the lifestyle, things like that, education on those things. That's all I got really coming up.
I'm gonna have to come on and talk about being married in poly.
Yes, bring it.
Well, you guys, my co-host Danny let it out the back. I am published. I couldn't believe it. It happened. If you have the chance, it is an online magazine. It is called Voyage Ohio, VOYAGE, capital OHIO magazine. So Voyage Ohio is all one word, and then magazine. It would be the June 23rd article, and you can find out a little more about Ms. Juicy, how you get into the business, how I got into the business of adult toys. But because of this article, the 3 C's will be coming out. But right now, the 3 C's are on the back burner for right this minute, because I have been offered to do a book deal to actually write about Miss Juicy. There you go.
Well, I'm very, very happy. Yay! As the world doesn't know that, but do know that I'm going to keep you on, making sure that you do that book because we need it.
Yeah. Well, what I'm trying to do originally right now is I have to meet with the publisher and all of them first for this. So once I get that part down, I can multitask. I'll be zipping right on back over there. But the book release, according to my new publisher, I'm excited. But the book release will be done and held at EEE 2023. EEE 2023. It'll be held there. So definitely, we're gonna do this.
Yes, I will be coming from California to Cleveland for this. Yes, yep.
We're gonna get this.
And
together.
I'll be there too.
Jasmine from Indy. We're gonna have all my JTP. We're gonna have everybody. We're gonna put the crew back together. We're gonna have a good old time. Y'all ain't never seen a JTP party, so
y'all have not
ready for it. Y'all are not ready. I promise you not. Hold on, come out. You want to know how I know you're not ready? Because I don't know if I'm ready.
Danny, you ready?
Oh no! Don't get it twisted. I'm excited. But my Taurus mind want to know what's happening. There's no way for me to know.
So on that level, I'm excited, and I'm ready. Because
everybody
you birthed what is now.
Burlesque theme. It is a burlesque theme. If you all need corsets, ruffle panties, hit up
all of that good stuff. Let us get it from Juicy Boutique.
Juicy Boutique.
Oh yeah, I gotta put my order in already. I do.
Because you all know, if you are coming to a Juicy party, you have got to be in theme. You do not get to come in your jeans.
I will turn you away at the door. I've done it before.
You will if not. If you don't slay it, we're not playing it.
You got to
Strawberry Cream will be out of retirement working the door.
And we will.
No, Strawberry Cream. You do not have to work the door. That's already handled.
No, I know. I'm joking. I'm just saying because you know me. You ain't got on. Bye.
And Strawberry Cream will definitely be there, and Siren will be introduced by then, and Siren will be there as well.
Yes. We're going to have such a great time, guys, and we'll be announcing, and you're going to be tired of it, but we're going to talk about it every show starting next month. So there you go.
Yay.
So ladies, I love you all so much. Make sure you guys stay with us as we get into more topics great conversation tonight. We definitely have to do a part deux on this one.
Yes, ma'am.
And especially as we see things developing, we're going to give you more information on what states that you can go to have an abortion, because some states you still can. Understand they're talking about a law or getting people in trouble if you cross state lines. So we're gonna keep our eyes on all of that for you all, because we do know as women sometimes things happen, and it may not be your time to have a child. And a child is a large responsibility, and it's not for everyone. So for them to force it on you is totally incorrect and totally wrong. So
correct.
On that note, I love you, ladies. We will be back next week. Make sure you tune in. We will be back in 2 weeks. I'm sorry. Yes, you're right. We'll be back in 2 weeks on July 11th. We start at 6 p.m. for our folks out on the West Coast, 8 p.m. for our folks in Central Time Zone, 9 p.m. for Eastern Standard, and for our friends in Barbados, we start at 10 p.m. Make sure you tell a friend, and join us for some more Juicy Tales Erotic Chat. For myself, Miss Juicy, and my beautiful co-host, Miss Danny's Windows and Miss Jasmine Purple Rain, we'll see you next time. All right, enjoy and keep in the great. Bye, everybody.
Bye.